Number 19. Am I correct? So number 19, page 114. So let's try those questions. Page 114. Try questions 1 to 23. If you can do that in 5 minutes, that'd be great. All right, let's come back together to discuss. So for number 19, what do you get for 19?
C.
C. Okay, right. So basically you are dividing 7 into 5. So you can use the calculator, 5 divided by 7. Or if you don't have the calculator, then you have to do the long division. Divide 7 into 5. So, okay, or just punch in 5, then division, and then sign in 7. So that was 7 into that, the 0, impossible. So add a decimal point and introduce 0. So that's 7, 49, 1, 0. 7 into that is 1. 7 times 1 is 7. So that would be 3. Add 0 again. And then that would be 4. So it keeps going. 28, 20, right? So since you have 2 decimal places in the answer, so it means that the answer is 0.71, because this is less than 5. So you neglect it. All right, great. So that's correct. Let's see. Okay, number 20. So fraction. So it says that a recipe requires 1/4 cups of non-fat milk. A person already has 1/3 cup. How much more is needed? How much more is needed? Okay. So when they ask you how much more, what do we add or subtract? How much more? Yeah. So this has to be like a subtraction type of problem, subtraction. So what you have to do is 1/4 what you have minus the 1/3. You see, this is what is required, and you have 1/3. So how much more needed? Subtraction. Yeah, so I have to subtract. So since you're doing 2 fractions, remember the fractions, you need the LCD before you can subtract. So the LCD will be 12. So write a fraction LCD of 12. Okay, this is times 3 to get 12. So you multiply the numerator by 3. So this is 3 out of 12. This is times 4 to get 12. So you multiply the numerator also by 4. So 4 out of 12. Yeah. All right, this is a situation where you can borrow. 3 minus 4 is not possible here. So we have to borrow 1 from the whole number. So if I borrow 1 from the whole number, that is in terms of 12. It's 12 out of 12 parts. Right? So I'm going to add the 12 parts to the 3. So it becomes 15 out of 12 minus the 4 over 12. So if we subtract, now I can do 15 minus 4, and then that would be 11 over 12. So it's about 12. So the answer is A for 20. So remember fractions, when you're subtracting, you need the LCD. LCD. All right, 21. 21 is standard form, standard notation. Got a standard notation. No, actually the word I have to use scientific notation, not standard notation. Scientific. Okay. So scientific notation is like writing a number times 10 to the power 4. Actually, usually you want this to be like a number that lies between 1 and 10. Not less than 1, but not more than 10. Yeah. That's what we call scientific notation. So if you look at this one is not in the scientific notation form yet, you know. But if you're multiplying a number by 10 to the power 4, it's easy to do that. So I just have to move the decimal point. So let's get rid of scientific notation. Here, this is not in a form. So 10 to the power 4. It means that I have to move the decimal place 4 places. Look at the exponent. 4 places to the right, right? Because this is the same as 10,000. That's what that means. So I have to move this 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to add 2 more zeros. So it's 3, 5, 0, 0. So that would be 3,500. 3,500. So the answer here is B. B. Okay. So if you multiply by positive exponent, 10 to a positive exponent, you move the decimal point to the right. For positive exponent. If it's negative, you're going to move it to the left and so on. Left. Okay, so that's the remainder I can put to ourselves for this question. Okay. And then 22. Okay. So what should we do for 22? 22, multiplication of fractions. Somebody should help us out with that one. How do we work with fractions? Mixed we have a mixed number. Yeah, multiplying.
LCD.
D. Okay. So what do you do?
No, I said LCD that you have to do, lowest
Oh,
common.
oh no, for multiplication.
Yeah.
For multiplication, you have to change to what do you call it? A mixed, an improper fraction first. Improper fraction. Yeah. So the first step, change to improper fraction. Improper fraction before you multiply. Okay. So if we change improper fraction to be 8 times 3, that would be 24 plus 3. So that would be 25 over 8 times, then this to improper fraction, that would be 3 times 2, which would be 6 plus 1. So that gives us 7 over 3. 7 over 3. So now that we have this improper fraction, there's nothing to cross out. We can't cross anything out. So we have to just multiply. So let's multiply this horizontally. So 7 times times 25. So 7 times 25. So that would give us 535 plus, so 175, right? So 175 divided by 24. So 175 divided by 24, that's what we have so far. Okay. So let's divide this So if you divide 175 by 24, you can do like the long division. The long division, 24, 175, or you can use your calculator. It's going to give you in decimals, but you can get a whole number per portion. So that goes in 7 times. 7 times 24 will be 168. Subtract. So if you subtract this, then you get 7. No, I made a mistake here. I made a mistake right here. This part here. No, let's go back. This is not 25. This is not 25. It's 8 times. Let's go back here. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 3 is 27. So this is 27. Sorry, that this should be 27. Okay. So with that, I can cross things out then. 3 here is 1. 3 here will be 9. Yeah, so now I have 9 times 7, that would be 63 divided by 8. This is what should be rather. Okay. So if you divide this 8 into 63, so that would be 7. So you have 56. So you have 8 into 63, that's 7, 56. Subtract this, that will be 7. So you have 7 out of 8 left. So that is D. That is D. So first change to improper fraction, and then you can either reduce to lowest terms and multiply, or multiply and reduce to lowest terms. So that's the key for this one. Okay. And then let's look at 23. So for 23, it says 1 tablet of children's aspirin contains 1/4 grain of aspirin. So 1 tablet for children contains 1/4 grain of aspirin. Then the adult one contains 5 grains. So how many children's aspirin will contain the same amount of medication as 2 adult tablets? 2 adult tablets. How many, right? Children. So for this question, it means that we need to find the weight of the adult tablet, 2 adult tablets. So if we have 2 adult tablets, so 2 adult tablets will be 2 times 5. Each one is 5 grains. So if I multiply this, it means I'm going to have 10 grain. That would be the weight of the adult tablet, 2 grains, 10 grains. Okay. So how many of the children tablets can I get out of the 10? Okay. That means that I have to divide. This is the time to divide. Okay, so you have to divide 10 grain, the adult tablets. I'm breaking it down into 1/4 grains. Each child tablet is 1/4. So how many of these can I get out of that? I mean, I'd have to break it down. Break it down, that means to divide it. So 10 divided by 1/4. So we have a fraction. How do I divide two fractions? To divide two fractions, first I have to make sure I have an improper fraction here. So improper fraction, I have 10. These are 10/1 divided by improper fraction. That would be 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1. That would be 5. So 5/4. 5/4. So to divide two fractions, we keep the first fraction times reciprocal of the second fraction. So it'll be 4/5. Now we can reduce to lowest terms, right? 5 into itself is 1. 5 into 10 is 2. So we end up with 2 times 4, and that will be 8. So I have 8 of the children tablets. 8 of that. Okay. So the answer that we have here is B. B. Okay, good. So far, good. All right, let's look at 24 to 28. 24 to 28. So if you can take like 3 to 4 minutes to try your hands on that, and I will discuss. 24 to 28. All right, let's look at the first 124. So it says, if your annual salary is 17,200, if your annual salary of 17,200 were increased by 5.5%, what would your new salary be to the nearest dollar, the new salary? Okay. So how would you approach this problem? How would you approach the problem? All right, so I believe first we're going to find the increase, right? We want to find the increase amount. So find 5.5% of 1720. So we can change this to decimal. This is the same as 5.5%. This is 5.5%. It's the same as you move the decimal point 2 places to the left, so it becomes decimal. So it's 0.055 if we change to decimal. Okay, 0.055. So first find 0.055 times 17,200 to determine the amount of increase. Okay, so 5.5% of that. So that will be 17,200 times 0.055. So that gives you 946. So the person had an increase of 946. So the new salary will be the 17,200 plus 946 added on. Okay, so if we add that on, then you get 18146. So this will be the new salary, dollars. Okay. So the answer here will be C. Let's see. Okay. All right, what about 25? 25, so that's a pie chart. Says the central angle is 40, the central angle of 45 degrees represents what percent of the circle to the nearest whole percent point. So what percentage would this 45 degrees represent? So what should I do for this question? 90, 75, 60, 30 here, 60 degrees, 45 degrees. So what percent would the 45 degrees fall out of this? Anybody tried it? What percentage? Anybody wants to try that one?
Which page is that? I got lost.
Page 115, number 25.
B.
B. Okay, so what do you do? How do you get the answer?
I think we have to use the proportion.
First of
Okay.
all, draw the circle.
All right, so you had of 4 to 5. That is what you have. 45 out of what?
360.
360, yeah. So the total angle for a circle 360. So the part is 45 out of a total of 360 degrees. Okay. So if you multiply this by 100, you get a percentage, right? Times 100, we get a percentage. Okay. So either reduce to lowest terms, or you can just multiply and divide. So if you multiply and divide, then you have 12.5. I said to the nearest whole percent, so that's why it's 13%, nearest whole. So B is correct. B. So the circle, 360 degrees total angle. Okay, for number 26. For 26, you have to think about the similar triangles and similar rectangles that we discussed last time. Okay,
I got B.
The ratios. You have B, yeah. Okay. So think of the ratios of the sides. You have this. This is 3 meters. This is 5 meters. And they have a bigger one. 9 meters. And this is X. So the ratio of the corresponding sides, if I take this side here, 3 to the long side, 3 to 5 for this one should be equal to the ratio of the short side to the long side. So it should be 9 to X. If you do this, you can work out the proportion. The ratio of the sides, long side, short side to the long side should be the same as the short side here to the long side. Similar ratios becomes a proportion. So to solve this, start 3 times X. 3X is equal to 9 times 5. Divide by 3, divide by 3. So your X will be equal to 45 over 3, and that will be 15. 15 centimeters, 15 meters. That's correct. So that is B. So remember similar triangles. That's a key here from last week. Similar triangles. That's what this is about. Okay, great. All right, so 27. So 27 says if 10 ml of blood specimen contains 1.2 grams. So 10 ml of blood specimen contains or equal to 1.2 grams hemoglobin. Now the question says how many grams of hemoglobin would 15 ml of the same blood contain? So you have 15 ml of the blood specimen. You're asking you how many grams of hemoglobin. So that's a summary of the question. Okay. So in this case, you can again use proportion. You can use proportion here. So what you can set out would be 10 ml contains 1.2 grams hemoglobin, HB. set out the same ratio, ml, and grams of hemoglobin on this side. You have 15 ml. So 15 goes here. You don't know the grams, X. And then you can solve the proportion. So to solve this out with 10 times X is equal to 15 times 1.2. Okay, so divide by 10, divide by 10. So you get your X to be equal to, so 15 times 1.2, that will give us 18. So you have 18 divided by 10. Dividing by 10, you move the decimal place. So the decimal points at the end, I can move it one place to the left, so it's 1.8 grams. So the answer will be C, 1.8, which is C. So proportion, proportion, proportion. As I said, a lot of questions you can use proportion. Number 28, I believe that one should be straightforward for you. You have to follow the order of operation. So give me the answer for that one, if you have it.
B.
Okay, good. All right, great. All right. So first, as you did, you have to multiply out multiplication before you add, right? So you got to multiply 6 times 0.83, so that is 4.98 plus 0 times 0.3 times 100. That will be multiplied 2 places to the right, 1, 2. So that makes 30 minus 29.09. So this is what we have to work out. So 4.98, add 30 to that and subtract 29.09. So you have 5.89. Okay, 5.89, which is B. Okay, correct. Or you can punch everything to your calculator with the parentheses and everything perfectly. You get the answer to it. You're allowed to use a calculator, so you might use it. Yeah. But put in the right numbers in the parentheses. Okay, good. So let's turn to the next page, page 29. Page 116, sorry. Number 29. Let's look at 29 to 34. 29 to 34. So if you can use a few minutes to look at the problem yourself, and then we can discuss it.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Are these the last question we're gonna do today? Because my problem is my mother-in-law doesn't have a charger to my iPad, and I have only 4%.
Okay.
So are these? Are we gonna do anything else? I just wanna make sure what we're gonna end up today.
Or what we're going to end up with?
Yes.
I'm trying for us to finish at least this test up to 40. Yeah, we have about 20 minutes more, so
Okay, so if
we should be able to finish after 40. If we finish, then we'll continue from there. If we don't, but hopefully we should be able to finish after 40.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Let's look at 29. So 29 says the 6% sales tax on the purchase of textbooks is $354. How much did the textbook themselves cost? So we want to find the cost of the textbook itself. All right. So again, we can use proportion in this question, the percent proportion. Okay. So we can set up the percent proportion. The percentage is given 6%. So 6 out of 100, that's a percent. Then I have to identify the part and a whole out of this question. Now I said the cost, the sales tax on the purchase of a book. So this is not the cost. This is the tax here. So this is the cost of the book here. Let me cross this out. This is the this is the tax on the book. Okay. So the 6% tax is 3.54. So it means this 6% will go with 3.54 goes to that. And the you want to find the actual cost of the book. So the actual cost of the book should go with 100%. You don't know. So X goes to the 100%. Original cost of the book, 100. So this is a proportionate to set up. Yeah. And then you can do the cross product. 6X is equal to 3.54 times 100. And then if you divide by 6, then you have the answer. So 3.54 times 100 will be 354. 2 decimal places, if you multiply by 100, move decimal points to the right and divide by 6, and then you have your answer. Okay. So that would be 354 divided by 6, and you have 59. So the answer is $59. So the answer should be D. Okay. Somebody can also work backwards. Yeah, somebody can work backwards. Backwards, that means that you take the answer and find 6% of the answer and see if you get 3.54. You know, so you go to the answers and then multiply by 6%. Yeah. If you do that, you come to D as the answer for this. So either work backwards or you just do the proportion approach here. Okay, so that's 29. If you look at 31, you can also, sorry, 30. 30, you can also use a proportion, percent proportion to do the problem. It's percentage problem. So 30, look at 30. You can use proportion. 30% is given. So 30 out of 100. And it said, if 30% of a number is 90, what is the number? 30% of a number is 90. What is the number? So off a number, that's your base, off. So remember the base goes with the 100. So we don't know that number. So we say X. Is a portion. Is a portion. So is 90. So it means 90 is the part or portion. So it's 90 out of a certain number is equal to 30 out of 100. Okay, so that will be your proportion. If you set it up this way, you will not go wrong. And then you can do your cross product. So 30 times X is equal to 90 times 100. And then divide by 30, divide by 30. So this will cross out. You have X is equal to 30 here will be 1, 30 here will be 3, 3 times 100. So you have 300, 300. So that will be A for this one. Okay. So percent proportion is always very helpful to use for percentage problems. Percent proportion. Anybody has any questions so far on these problems?
No.
Okay, very good. So I hope you're all trying to master the proportion approach. Proportion is going to help you a lot. Okay. If you look at 31, again, that's also proportion. On a road map, 1/8 inches equals 50 miles. So 1/8 inches is equal to 50 miles. They say how many inches will equal 125 miles? So this is missing, but you're giving 125 miles. So you can set up a proportion to do this. Yeah. So what this means is you have 1/8 inches, it's 50 miles. So this is equal to, you need inches and then you need a miles here. So we're given 125. So this 125 miles, inches missing. That's a proportion. So to solve for x, so we have to do the cross product. So that will be 1/8 times 125 should be equal to 50 times x. Okay, 50 times x. Okay. So if I look at the answers are in fractions. They're in fractions. So I have to try to work this in fractions. Okay. So see how I'm going to do it in fractions. Now remember this part here, if you simplify this part here, it's the same as writing 125 divided by 8. That's what that means. 125 divided by 8. So this is equal to 50x. Right, to get x, it means I have to divide the left side by 50, and I have to divide the right side also by 50. Okay, so this will be x will be equal to, so basically what I'm doing here is 125, if you look at this, over 8 divided by 50. This is what that means. All right, that's what it means. If you're dividing by 50, I can say over 1, if I don't make any mistake. I'm dividing two fractions. So to divide two fractions, what do? You maintain the first fraction times reciprocal of the second fraction, 1/50. Reciprocal of the second fraction. Now I can reduce this to lower steps. So I know that 25 can go here 2 times. 25 into 125, that will be 5 times. Nothing else to reduce, so we can multiply horizontally. So I have 5 times 1, which is 5, over 8 times 2, which is 16. So the answer is 5/16 inches. So take 30 seconds to look at this carefully, how I did it. I did this because it's in fraction, so I'm trying to work in fractions to get the answer that they want. That's why I didn't do anything decimals. Okay. So far, so good, I believe. Okay. So 32 will be a little straightforward. 32. So let's say, which of the following equations illustrate the distributive property of multiplication? Distributive property, right? So just a quick recap. Remember the distributive property, this is what we mean, distributive property. If I have x, parentheses a times b, a plus b, if you apply the distributive property, it means you multiply x by a plus x times b. That's the distributive property. You multiply the number in front of parentheses by all the terms within the parentheses. So example, if I have 2x plus 4 will be the same as 2 times x, which is 2x, plus 2 times 4, which is 8, distributive property. Okay. So we can apply the same thing here for 32. For 32, if you go through the example, the question, the options, you'll notice that option the first option is the correct answer, the first option. Okay. So they give us 3x plus 4 times a minus 2. So it means I have to distribute the 4 in front of the parentheses. So 4x, so you have 3x plus 4 times A minus 4 times 2, which will be 8. So this is what we should get for that one. So the correct answer is A. A is the correct option. Distributive property. Okay. What about 33? As we said, you've seen examples like this already. You can work backwards. For that question, you can work backwards to get the answer. So if anybody gets the answer, you can let us know. All right, so test each answer in the solution. All right, test each answer. So if you take the first one, x is equal to 24, y is equal to 14. If you test that, that's not good, right? It's too big. So I will not even waste my time doing that. You know, like 3 times 24 plus 2 times 14. Automatically, it's not equal to 6. This is a big number, so I'm not going to waste my time at all. Just cross it out. They have x4 and y2. So let's try that. 3 times x4, 4, plus 2 times y is 2 is equal to 16. Let's say this 12 plus 4 is equal to 16. Okay, so this is correct. But let's test that also in this. It should satisfy both equations. So if we come here, 4 times x is 4 plus 2 times y, your y is 2. Would that also give us 24? 4 times 4 is 16 plus 2 times 2 is 4. Is that equal to 24? No. So this is not equal. So it means that this answer is not correct. So again, so this is not correct. So let's try the next one. You have 8 and negative 4. 3 times 8 plus 2 times negative 4 is equal to 16. So this is 24. This is minus 8 equal to 16. So this is 16 equal to 16. So this is correct for this. Let's test this in this one. 4 times 8 plus 2 times negative 4 should be equal to 24. This is 32 minus 8 is equal to 24. This gives us 24 here equal to 24. So this is also correct. So since it satisfied both solutions, both equations, it means that the answer is C. So C is correct. It should be true for both when you plug in. If you test D, it's not going to work out. So I'll just leave that out. Okay. So this is how you can work backwards for this type of problems. Any questions so far? We can do the last one on this. So let's look at 34. Okay, for 34, it's going to take us multiple parts to this question. So this is a question which is good to review all the fractions, different type operations on fractions. All right, so it says a baby drank an average of 7.14 ounces during each 4 feedings. So let's summarize the average. for all the 4 is 7/1/4 ounces. Okay, for 4 feedings. If the baby drank 6/3/8 and then 7.5 and 7/3/8 ounces, the first 3 feedings. So first 3. So you have 6/3/8 ounces, 7.5 ounces, and the other one is 7/3/8 ounces. So these are the first 3 feedings. You see how many ounces were taken during the 4th feeding? During the 4th feeding. All right. So to do this problem, you need to find the total for all the feedings, total. So you can give the average for the 4. So to find the total number of amounts, total ounces, you have to multiply the average by 4. Average. So each one is, that means each of the 4 equally is 7/1/4. So to find the total to be 7/1/4 times 4 to find the total ounces. Okay. Then remember a fraction, if you're multiplying fractions, you need to change to mixed number. Sorry, just change to improper fraction. So improper fraction, 4 times 7 is 28, 28 plus 1. So that'll be 29/4 times 4. I can put this over 1. So that gives us, if I cross out the 4, so I end up with 29. So I have a total of 29 ounces. That will be the total ounces that you have. Now I want the 4th feeding. So what can I do here? I need to find the total of the 3 feedings. And then I can take it out of the 29 and I'll get the 4th one. So I need to find the total of the 3. So total for 3 feedings. For the 3. So that would be 6/3/8 plus 7.5 plus 7/3/8. Okay. Since I'm adding fractions, I need LCD. LCD here will be 8. So we have to write each fraction with LCD of 8. So this is testing as adding fractions. This is times 1. So I multiply this by 1, so it remains the same as 3. 2 times 4 gives me the 8. So I have to multiply the 1 by 4. So this is 4 out of 8. 8 times 1 gives me this 8. So I multiply 3 by 8 by 1. So I get this is the same. Now I can add this up. So if I add this up, I have 3 plus 4 plus 3. This will be 10/8 for the fractions. And then 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 7, that's 20. So I have 20, 10/8. But this is an improper fraction. So I have to change that. So I can divide 8 into 10. So I have 20. And then this will be 8 and the 10. That will be 1 whole number, 2/8. So that's what we have here. 1 whole number, 2/8. Okay, so I can add the 1 to the 20. So I get 21 2/8. If I reduce to lowest terms, it's the same as 21 1/4. Okay, so that's for the 3 feedings. So how do I find the 4th one? So to find the 4th one, I have to subtract from 29. So the 4th feeding will be 29 minus 21 1/4. You have to subtract this. Okay. So remember that you can create a fraction out of the 29. So that will be 28 whole number. The fraction, if I borrow 1 from this, is 4 out of 4. 4 out of 4 minus 21 1/4. Now we can subtract. 29 minus 28 minus 21 is 7, and then 4 minus 1 is 3 out of 4 here ounces. So this will be the amount for the 4th feeding. So this question involves like 3 different parts. Find the total by multiplying the average by the number of feedings, adding up the 3 feedings, and then subtracting that from the total to get the 4th feeding. So this is a question that will take a little time, so spend less time on other problems and then maybe more time on that one. So this is a good question to use to review all the operations on fractions, adding, multiplying, subtracting, and dividing comes in this question. So I think we're going to stop here for today. It's 1:06. So when we come next week, we'll finish up 35. We'll finish up and then we'll do the next